Can I flip you over? Oh, nope. It won't let me flip you over. I need to plug you in though. And my cord is only a foot long. Sorry for the shakiness. I gotta figure out how to get this to a spot that will work. That sort of works. It doesn't work. I am so sorry. I need to find my tripod. What's up, fam? We'll just be crooked today. There's a couple of y'all on here. How's everyone doing tonight? What's everyone up to? I just need to lean. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. My live streams are always late at night because that's when I know people are not going to walk in on me from the retail side. And that's when I'm here working by myself. So, what's up, Mark? How's it going? Main thing I wanted to talk about today is, holy crap, it's super busy right now. Holiday mode is full swing and everyone wants things in like 30 seconds. So, what's up, Matt? Bob? So, I thought it'd be fun to get on here, answer some live questions because, what's up, Sasha? I'm not in the comments a ton right now, so please ask away. I'm gonna be working on some emails and some bids and quotes, and I gotta put some stickers together and find my tripod wherever it is. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button and ask your questions so that I can answer your questions. I'm gonna pull up the video here on my computer so that I can answer them better. Sup, Sticker Hawaii. Thanks everyone for joining. And ask your questions. Ask away. Questions, comments, concerns, rude remarks. What's up, Jim? We'll start with this. We'll answer some questions that I got on my last video. So in the last video, I talked about the top product categories for the year, and I've had a few questions on it. So we'll just answer those until you guys ask some questions. No ID, I saw your question. It's on the channel too. It's on the comments. My number one promotional product. Well, the number one as far as quantity or the number one as far as revenue? It's probably the same thing. So I consider labels, so roll labels specifically, a promotional product because I get them through my promotional products industry, Sage. The main supplier I use right now is there's two. I use Melco and Discount Labels. They are trade only. And I have a popcorn shop that buys them, a soda shop that buys them, and a grocery store that buys them. And they all buy them very frequently. So the most recent order that I did was 180,000 labels. 2 months before that, it was 100,000, plus I ordered 50,000 for the other customer and 50,000 for the other customer, and so on and so forth. So probably roll labels are my biggest outsourced product. I did the math at one point to see if it would be worth printing them myself, and it's not, because the labels that I'm outsourcing are, all of them are, well, two of them are one color and one of them is two color, and so they're printed on a Flexo printer with plates and ink, not digital, and it's way cheaper to print them that way than it is on digital. So my number one promotional product is probably labels. After that, I would say, like, probably the thing I sell the most other than that is pens. And then, like, tumblers, like bulk tumblers, like 100 plus order tumblers. So there's the answer. Let's see. Ashley asked a question not related to the video. Just a printer who's got a YouTube channel as well agrees that my flatbed will probably take it away next year. Okay, so Gustos asks or says, because I talked about my flatbed, and said flatbed is more of a vertical or technology. What products would that be? So direct to foam core type stuff, i.e. posters, cutouts. So what I've done the most this year on the flatbed is cardboard, specifically boxes. I've really only I ran one job that was ACM. I've done some yard signs out of Coroplast. I did one out of Sintra, I believe it was called. It's like a flexible plastic. I've done some Falcon board, which is basically a honeycomb cardboard, and I've done foam core, but a lot of cardboard boxes, a lot. And I have a current order standing for about 5,000 boxes that they want done as soon as possible, but it's going to be a pain in the butt. So, cardboard. That's the flatbed's biggest thing right now is cardboard. But it makes sense. Mailers, things like that. Okay, so that's all the questions from the video I released. So now let's go to see what questions you guys have asked. Okay. Matt Hollis says, new to Flexi and HP print and cut. When making stickers, how do I set the contour cut before the perf cut? I will show you. Let me open up Flexi here. Oh man, I'm going to start yawning. Oh man. Okay. Let me find my tripod first. Hold that thought. My nephew cleaned the shop, and I don't know where he put everything. I found a cell phone. Okay. Vacuum. My shop is too big, but it's too small at the same time. I found a tripod, but it doesn't have a cell phone mount on it. I think I might have one on my desk. I do. Okay. I will show you how to do this. It is very, very simple. I have to unplug you. Oh, I can see myself. Okay. Turn around. Okay. Oh. Okay, can you guys still hear me? Let me know. Hopefully you can. So I'm going to do it really simple. I'm just going to draw a square. I'm going to go to Effects, Contour Cut. You can see my contour is there. That's way too big. So we'll just shrink it. Doesn't really matter. So right here, this is where you can switch or select which layer it is. So we are going to select, that's the contour cut layer. Well, no, let's do the perf cut layer. What's up to print house? Perf cut. Sorry, I'm watching through the camera or through the phone instead of. Okay. So then let's make another one. And this one, we're going to do the contour cut. So we're going to come over here. We're going to select a contour, and you can select any of them. I typically only have cut contour and perf cut contour. You can set different ones for different reasons. If you want to do different depths, different speeds, whatever you want. But that's fine. So now I'm going to hit the print button. It's going to bring up my dialog box. And when you come to the cut thing, I forgot to check mark it. No, I didn't. What the crap? Did I screw up? No, they're both different. Okay, let's try again. I might have had it selected. I did have it selected. My bad. Okay, so now you can see we've got cut contour and perf cut contour. Now if these are in the wrong order, you just select it and use the arrow key. So now it's going to do the perf cut first and then the contour first. But really it doesn't matter because we can set this to do whatever we want. Like I can cut this to be the kiss cutting tool, and I can set this to be the cutout tool. Those are just names to reference. I always use the perf as a cutout, and I always use the contour as the kiss, just because it makes my life easier. But theoretically, you can have them be either or. But yeah, that's how you do it. Hope that answers your question. Okay, now I gotta put you back and try to plug you in. Hopefully my cord's long enough. Oh, it's not. We're gonna swap you. My phone's gonna die, so I have to leave you guys plugged in. Okay, there you go. All right, let's see what other questions we got. Matt, let me know if that answered your question. Sasha says, so I just started in the print biz, but I don't know how to promote myself or know what to provide. I have ideas, but I am an overthinker. But any advice for a noob like me? Well, first off, do you have any equipment? If you don't have any equipment, find some good partners to buy stuff from. And I would start only promoting that stuff. Find a partner that is super easy, super simple, that they have products that they deliver on time, that you can start with them. And then from there, once you gain a few customers, then start asking those customers, what are some other things that maybe I could provide that would help you? A really good resource would be, if you want to start at least with the large format stuff, I do have a large format selling course that I give away my top suppliers, and training and tips and how to get pricing and all the other fun stuff. You can find that on the shopping section of my website. But if you don't have any equipment, again, I'd find a good vendor. If you do have equipment, focus on that. don't do what I did. Don't buy 100 different pieces, and just promote what you got. Build it up until that's really streamlined, and then look at adding more. Jim asks, what weight cardstock do I use? I primarily use 130 pound. I am going to run out of it soon, and I was only able to pick up 120 a pound, which is about 16 point. So that's what I'll be using when I'm out of 130 pound. But I typically use silk and 130 pound from Kelly Paper, which is now Kelly Spicer, or Spicer Kelly, or something like that. No ID, yes. Print and cut boxes. Although the 5,000 order, the customer ordered the boxes from Uline. It's like, can you just print on top of them? So that's why it's going to be fun. So hopefully it works out. I haven't tried it. They just barely got me the artwork today. So, okay asks if I ever sell t-shirt bags for grocery stores. I have not. I haven't even looked into it. I should ask. I'm really good buddies with the guy that owns the grocery store that I do work with. Um, I don't even think they do custom ones at this point. I know they have in the past, but I don't know if they're doing custom ones right now. But yeah, that's probably a good idea. Thank you. I will find out. If you have a good vendor for that, let me know. No ID asks that, well, says there's so many uses for your equipment. How do you decide what to offer? A lot of times I go to the customer to find out what their needs are so that I can help push stuff based off the equipment. Cardboard boxes are really popular this time of year because people want to do mailers, branded marketing. I did a cardboard cutout for someone today. Well, let's just kind of go through my day. I'm using my Epson printer to print some roll labels that are for popcorn. I used my HP latex to print some stickers that are going on buckets. I used my flatbed to print a Coroplast cutout that's going in someone's front yard for Christmas. I used my Konica for some greeting cards, some postcard mailers, and some prints that will be framed and hung on a wall. I sold 2 screen printing orders, and I think that's it for today. Oh, I sold some tumblers. Those are going to be laser etched, but I still don't have my laser set up. I sold some safety vests. Those are promotional products, so those are going to be outsourced. I sold some hats. Those are going to be embroidered. I got confirmation on more Christmas cards. So yeah, I have slowly acquired equipment based off of what customers have requested and wanted in a faster turnaround. That's like one of the reasons why I got the laser, was I wanted to be able to do fast turnaround stuff, but also be able to control quality and time and stuff like that more. But at the same time, it makes it really hard, which is why I suggest you don't buy as much as me initially and try to build up your clientele and outsource everything else. Outsource until it's a good idea to bring it in-house. Let's see here. So Sasha asks, using Flexi, how can I print the colors I have on my monitor? So my Flexi screws up the colors really bad, so I don't design anything in Flexi because the colors are always wrong. I know it has to do with the color space and conversions and weird crap like that, but I also don't offer color matching or anything like that. So I am not a good person to ask that question. I don't like color matching or anything of the likes. Great. I'm glad I could answer your question, Matt. Glad that helped. No ID Uline is expensive and it's stupid. I told them that I didn't want to do the job, and they said, "Well, could you do it if we ordered the boxes for you?" And I said, "Maybe." And they said, "Great, we're just going to order them." And I was like, So it's 5 or 6 pallets. Like, it's right there. There's one of the pallets. Um, and the design is super specific to being a print and cut box. But I looked up what they paid for the boxes, and just for the cardboard, not including shipping, they were about $3 each. And I told them that like they initially got quotes that were about $3 a piece to have them printed and cut and done. I was like, no, I can't print that. Like my cost on a sheet of cardboard is like $5.35, I think, and I can fit 2 on a box. So I'm like, no, I can't print and cut them for $3 each when my profit's going to be 50 cents, and that doesn't really even cover machine costs and printing. And so we haven't technically even agreed to a price, but they keep bugging me. Like my last email, I will tell you what the email says. It says, "Hi Darren, attaches the updated artwork. Please let us know when you can have some ready so we can ship ASAP." But yesterday, their email, when I said the artwork is not the right size, they emailed and said 1,000 boxes have been delivered, 1,400 more will be there tomorrow. Can you print $200 a day and send them out? And then like 5 hours later, hey, just following up on if you can get boxes printed today. So yeah, it's been lots of fun. Sasha says, currently using and learning a friend's Muto 54-inch printer, lamb and plotter. Thanks for asking my question. You're welcome for answering. I think that's what you mean. No idea what is my daily revenue goal. My daily revenue goal, I think it's 1,200. I think, yeah, 1,200. I can tell you my monthly goal really easy. My monthly goal is $36,700. So that depends on how many days you think. If you're doing it as 30 days in a month, yeah, it's $1,200 a day. I don't work every day, so. But yeah. Sasha, I do the same thing. I do everything in Illustrator or Photoshop, mostly Illustrator, and then import into Flexi to make the cut lines and then send it to print. Usually don't have an issue doing it that way. No ID, yes. The company that is ordering these boxes is 3 cities away, which is about 15 minutes. The last time they did, the last order was 133 print and cut custom boxes, and I just wrapped them up on a pallet and threw them in the back of my truck and drove them there. So, yep. Jim asks, where is my shop located? He didn't use that many words. Prime area or industrial park location? Do I get walk-ins? So I am in I am in an industrial park, but it's a mini industrial park. So I'm surrounded by other businesses. I have had 2 or 3 people randomly walk into the shop, but most of the time I'm just here by myself or with my nephew or whatnot, a customer coming to pick something up. It's usually not just a random person, especially because my address for my location does not match what most people think, because I face a different road, even though my address is, so like there's a road out that wall and there's a road out this wall, and I face this wall, my suite does, but my address is this wall, and so people are all the time like, I can't find your office, and I'm like, you're at the wrong place, walking around the side of the building. I've had tons of problems with UPS and FedEx. UPS is resolved, and I actually have my driver's number, which is super awesome. Like, that's probably the best thing about like where I am, is my driver is the same. I'm buddies with them, and it's like, hey, I need this. Like, can I meet you? Or, hey, I'm not at the shop. Will you just leave it there? And they'll do it because they know you, they like you, and you just build a relationship with them. So it's awesome. Bob says, you're good luck. I haven't had an order since last Monday. I started watching your video, and I just got 2 Facebook messages asking for large apparel orders. I am good luck for you, Bob. Like, what the crap? Like, I need to sell as much as you do, Bob. uh, Jim, thanks for the shop. I actually changed it today. So I have this really big work table, and it used to be about 7 feet farther that direction, closer to the flatbed. So I moved it to try to make more space so I could drive the forklift in and put stuff here, especially like boxes and crap that I have to print. So, yes. The shop is awesome. It's a work in progress. I'm actually doing some electrical stuff up above the shop for some new fun things that you'll find about later. But no ID, give that driver a holiday gift. Absolutely. Heidi is my buddy, and Heidi is going to get something. I don't know what yet, but she is going to get something. Bob says if you put a snack station out front, they'll find you, no problem. FedEx stop bys even when I'm not getting deliveries to grab a beverage. So I will, like, that's my eventual plan. I still haven't finished the showroom, but I do plan on having I think they call it a beverage fridge, the fridge that just has a glass front, um, and have sodas in there and have bags of chips and stuff that people can just have and snack on, and employees as well. Like, my nephew worked for me, and that was like the first thing I said, what's your favorite drink? Like, what do you want me to stock in the fridge? Because I want him to love working here. I want him to like not want to find another job. I want him to just be happy and come to work every day. And like, his weakness is food, my nephew. Like, 100%. Like, I needed him to work extra on a Saturday when he was only going to work like 3 hours. And I was like, well, will you work 8? And I gave him a Little Caesars pizza, and he loved it. So I got him a crazy bread and a Little Caesars pizza with crazy crust, which he didn't like know was a thing, and he loved it. So being able to like bribe him, so to speak, with food made his day, and that's what I want to be as an employer, and like as just a person in the community, like for the drivers and for the people that come in. Like, I want them to enjoy being here. I want them to enjoy doing business with me. So having those little things, I think, make a difference. So No ID asks, what is my largest table and where did I get it? So my largest table is this one. I got it with the building. My brother owns a cabinet shop, which used to run out of this building. And this was here, and he was thinking about taking it, but decided not to take it. So I honestly don't know how big it is, but let me measure it real quick. I'm literally holding a tape measure. This is a 16-foot tape measure, and I honestly don't know if it's long enough. So let's see if I can turn the camera over a bit so you guys. So this is the whole table. I think it's 5 feet wide. Okay, so it's 5 feet wide. And it is 16 feet long. I hope you guys can. Did you guys hear me? Did you hear my answer? I have my headphone in, but I don't know if it like works. So 5 feet by 16 feet. It's got 7 cabinet boxes on each side to hold the crap in. My next biggest table is 4 by 8, and half of it flips down. I made it for my garage, but I never really flipped it down because I always needed it. So the next one after that is, oh, you can't see it. It's like a little adjustable height table that I bought to be like an outfeed table, and it's only like 2 feet by 4 feet. And then I have like 3 or 4 lifetime tables, like lifetime table right here. I'll set those up as needed. So I have 2 or 3 6-foot lifetime tables and 1 8-foot. Well, so No ID says it's really hard to find an open bottom table. Mine's not open, it's closed, which I'm fine with because it's got all the cubby holes. But in order for me to move this, I had to use the forklift. Like, that's how big and bulky and heavy this thing is. It weighs a couple thousand pounds. Like, super heavy. Like, you could jump on that thing. Like, it's bad. But I did break a couple of the feet off because you shouldn't move it with one forklift. Sasha asks if I've talked about where I'd like my business in the next few years. I don't know if I've talked about that or not. Maybe I have. If I haven't, it's in one of my videos. If I haven't, that's a good idea. So Bob asks, how am I handling the SAMR out of stock? I've lucked out ordering higher quantity stuff, but I order some stuff for my cousin, but 75% of what she wants is Gildan, and it's almost all out. That's really tough because probably the number one shirt I sell is the PC 55,000, or not, well, the PC 55 or the Gildan 5000. Those are probably my 2 number one shirts that I sell, and there is not a lot of stock. I am ordering some PC 55 tonight. I just got confirmation via text, and luckily they're all in stock, but it is a crap show. It is super hard and super difficult to find stuff, and I missed out on an order of about 80 80 like OGO jackets because they just didn't have stock, which super sucks because those have great profit in them. So the way that I've been coping with it is I've tried to get people to tell me what they want like in September so that we could pre-order it to get everything hopefully in time. But I do have those stragglers, and they're getting what they get because that's all there's left. Great. I'm glad my AirPod is working. No ID, any limitation with the garage size and equipment? I didn't feel like the biggest struggle I had working out of my garage, like my home garage, not this garage, was lack of space, because I only had one work table, and so I felt like every time I was doing a project, if that table was full, that I couldn't move on to another project. And sometimes that project was waiting for a part or a piece or something to happen, and it was super frustrating to like have to try to clean it up, find a spot for it. Here I don't have that problem so much, and my big table has become like a crapshoot. Like there's just a bunch of random stuff on it, but my 4x8 is clean most of the time unless there's an active project going on. That's kind of my like go-to work table. This one, the table is short, and I don't like it because I have to hunch over. My 4x8 table is like 40 inches tall, versus this one's only like 30 something. I think it's 32. Even my desk is taller. So my desk is 34 inches tall. That one's 34 too, but my work table is like 42, 44. I like them higher so that I can not have to crouch over. Limitations here are deciding where to put the crap, because I have so much space and so much room that I don't know what to do. But I finally decided to move the big table and move my Duplo and my hole punch, my hole press, my drill press, my paper press. I don't even know what it's called. I moved those a little bit, and so now I have a big alleyway, which will be super helpful. Yeah, that's the hardest part about working here, is deciding what to do. Let's see here. Bob is saying, I placed an order tonight. Between adding to the cart and actually checking out, I had like 6 action. I've had that before, specifically with white shirts. Like that's the worst. Like texting the customer, like you literally have like, and you're not playing with them. And a lot of them are like, you're messing with me. And it's like, no, I'm not. Like it's literally selling out from under me. I've had that before, where you check out and then they email you and are like, we don't have enough to fulfill your order. Sorry. So that sucks. So let's see here. What's your average turnaround on screen printing? Example, a 10-piece order and a 250-piece order. So I don't do any of my own screen printing. I've used the same screen printer for 5, 6, 7 years. Their current turnaround minimum is 15 days. So I actually had to find a new guy, and his right now is 5 to 7 days for any size, for either of those 10 pieces or 250. My new guy's willing to do rushes. My current or previous people, they won't do rushes right now. Typically, my normal people are 6-day. When they're busy, they're usually 10, but right now they're crap face busy, and they're 15. And I actually had to cancel some orders with them and move to this other guy, and he's actually doing a rush order for me and getting it done in 4 days to meet it for a customer. But yeah, on average, normally 6 days is the turnaround. My number one company has 2 M&R auto presses and 1 manual, and then the new guy has I can't think of the name of it, but it's black. He has 1 auto, and then he has a manual. But like NovaWorks, I don't do 10 pieces. My minimum for screen printing is 12 pieces, but I usually don't suggest people do that anyway, because that's too long or too low. Like it's not worth the setup fees and whatnot. But hopefully there will be more fun stuff here to do those smaller orders. Mike asks if I follow Lee Stewart. I do. He's got a new shop. he's moving. I'm enjoying his content right now. But I don't get free screen print machines. Yeah, white and black shirts right now are the worst. Especially like hoodies and shirts and everything. So, yeah, I think 4 to 6 days is a good turnaround time, like a week. I'm trying to get better at like forcing myself to do turnaround times rather than just off the cuff. Here's what I'm doing, because I think that's part of my problem is I just try to get everything done as fast as possible, and it doesn't leave me time for other things. Like here it is, 9:30, and I'm still at the print shop. Granted, I'm not really working right now. I'm talking to you guys because it's a good little break. But um, I think if I were to set a turnaround time and like actually schedule jobs out rather than be like, here it is, here it is, here it is, then that would give me time. Okay, now it's time for marketing, or now it's time for cleaning, or now it's time for doing books, or now it's time for whatever. I think it would be better for me. But right now it's kind of like, oh, I got this order for stickers today. I'm just gonna print it because that printer's not doing anything. Mike says, you ever thought about buying a small DTG for in-house shirt jobs? No. Well, yes, I thought about buying one, but no. I I have too much stuff. I have a problem. I have a problem. A big problem. Like, I bought a laser over a month ago and it's still sitting there. I bought an envelope printer over a month ago and it's still sitting there. Like, I have a problem. But that doesn't mean I'm solving my problem by not buying stuff. It's just I'm compounding it. Let's see here. NovaWorks says that they hate DTG, waste of time, waste of money. I think it depends. I think like your like response to that is the same that I have to people on Supercolor. Like, is can Supercolor be looked at as expensive? Yep. But it's all about how much you sell it for. Like even laser stuff. Like right now I'm not doing my lasering. And as an example, if I take this tumbler to my buddy, he charges me $9 to put a logo on it. This tumbler, if I buy 24 of them, costs me $8. So you could sell it for 8 plus 9 and then like make $1, or you could sell it and make $30. If the customer says no, they say no. If they say yes, they say yes. If they say that's too high and you want to negotiate, then negotiate. Like you can make as much or as little money on everything as you want. It's just you just gotta sell it right. I'm not saying Supercolor is the best place to get it or anything like that. I do have a Supercolor affiliate. If you want to use it, go for it. There's other ways and other methods to do full color, but that's just an example. Let's see here. George from JP Custom Inks. He finally caught the live streams. Just as I started watching, my girlfriend says, oh, it's him! Thanks for dropping on. I appreciate it. I'll watch for your message about the boxes. Matt says he's got a 200-piece jersey order, one color logo front, vinyl number on the back. I do have a heat press and was considering orders transfers from one color and pressing. Thoughts? I do it all the time. So actually, for some companies, I stock their logos in transfers. So doing one color transfers, you can use Top Transfer, which I have used before and like them. You can use FM Expressions, which I've liked and used. You can use 631. I've only ordered from them once and I had a problem, but I think that was more the artwork's problem than the actual print problem. You can use Stalls. You can use Supercolor. You could use lots of things. But no, I think that's a great idea. You should do it. You can even buy the numbers pre-done. Stalls sells numbers. Top Transfers sells numbers. TOPP. Top. Bob says, I was digging out the Christmas decorations last night and found an unmarked bin. Opened it up and there was about 100 brand new shirts. Oh, man. Yeah, I've got a couple of those boxes. Oh, Mike, I definitely need more equipment. But don't worry. Don't you worry. Yeah, so Bob has given you a pricing for 613. I know some of them are super far behind and they're not taking new customers. So if you don't have an account, that might be a problem. But I think Top Transfers is. So check them out too. George, thanks for the donation. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Let's see here. No ID says DTG doesn't make sense yet with the printer high price and white ink shortage seasons. I say the same thing. I think it just all depends. Like if you can sell it and make money, then sell and make money. If you want to do $30 shirts and like to me you have to look at it as like how much money do you need to make a day? Like let's say you wanted to start a DTG business like from scratch. So you are going to go get a loan. You are going to get a DTG. You're going to get a pre-treat machine, and you're going to get a heat press. You're going to be between $25,000 and $30,000. At least with my credit, if I were to go get a loan on that through a typical equipment manufacturer, loan people person, you'd probably be around $500 a month for that piece of equipment. So to me, I would look at it and say, okay, I try to look at things as being 20 working days a month. So that's 4 weeks, 5 days in a week. So if you have $500 and you're going to divide it by 20, then to just pay for that piece of equipment, you've got to make $25. Now, if you're starting out, you have to decide, well, how much money do I need to make? How much money do I need to make to pay my bills? Or how much is this just a side hustle thing? Like, you have to determine how much money you want to make. And then you also have to like look at consumables, but that's part of the selling project. Like the selling part of it is including the consumables. So if you're gonna be like, okay, well I can buy a shirt, like say you buy Sanmar sells that DTG shirt. So how much is that? DTG. Sanmar has they have a DTG shirt. What is it called? It's like American, the District. The Perfect Try DTG tee. So that costs $5.50. So if you look at that and you're buying a $5.50 shirt, and let's just say for number's sake, it costs you $10 to print it, which I think that's excessive, but you're $15.50. And if you can sell that for 30, then just to cover the cost of the printer and the cost of your goods, you gotta sell 3 shirts and you're making money. So 3 shirts a day, 15 shirts a week. Like that's how you have to look at it. But you also have to know, okay, if I'm just starting out and I have no customers or no clientele, that I have to be able to ramp that up. I have to be able to start from nothing and go out and get orders. You might do really well and land a customer that wants to buy shirts every week or every month and they have a certain quota, or you have to go slower. Like some people look at my business and are like, holy crap, you're growing so fast. I've been in business like 12 years. And so like all of the orders that I got today, which equated to like $4,000 worth of orders, they all came to me. I didn't work for them. I didn't go out and try to sell them. I didn't go out and suggest products to them. They just said, "Hey, Darren, like, want them to do a backpack store?" They're like, "Hey, Darren, what about 50 hats?" Great, I'll do them. Here's the price. Do you want to do it? Yep. Add them to the order. Another person. Hey, Darren, we're doing our event again this year. We need 100 more shirts. Same shirt as last year. Same shirt as last year. Well, looks like there's inventory. You want me to do it? Pull the trigger. So it's stuff like that. Like once you've gotten to a certain point, as long as you're good to the customer, and then those customers will keep coming back. But if you're just starting, then you have to know, okay, if I've got to spend $500 a month for this printer, I need to have $1,000 in the bank, $2,000 in the bank, so I can ramp this up, so I can pay for the printer, pay for supplies before I get paid from selling a customer. So, and I think that's with anything, whether it's DTG, whether it's a flatbed, whether it's a HP latex printer. Like that's what you have to decide when you're buying it, and that's what I've done with every piece of equipment that I have. Yes, I have a ton of expense every month to keep it going, but everything was bought with purpose, with vision, with understanding. Like, I'll make enough this month to pay the flatbed printer for a whole year, just from the work that the flatbed printer is doing. So it's kind of what you're selling it for. To answer your question, Bob, about the $30, I mean, I personally, if I'm doing one-off shirts, I typically sell them for about $30 a shirt. If I'm doing bulk orders, where I'm doing 20, 30, 50, 100, then no, price way down. But at that point, I also wouldn't DTG them unless the artwork was necessary, or if that's what my thing was. If I'm a DTG shop and I DTG everything, then that's what I do. So, but I do think $30 is a decent price for just a one-off, two-off, five-off T-shirt. My personal opinion, though. Bob is saying that, well, Bob had an incident with Supercolor where there was lateness or lostness or something, and he said they've been much better the last couple of times, but he doesn't know if he's getting special treatment or not. You're probably getting special treatment. You're special. You're special to me, Bob. Bob is saying that he would get DTF, but the printer is 133 wide as in the workspace, and you're looking at 15 by 18 of space. I have never seen a DTF printer that is that wide. That is a really wide printer. There's a print shop here that has a 16-foot wide sublimation printer. So that's 192 inches. That's a big boy. Mike, your company is the approach that I wish I would have taken. So he says, my company has an approach, use one printer until we get pretty busy on that, then try to branch out to another machine to capture more business and build it up. I 100% agree with that approach. And you should not follow my example and just buy a whole bunch of random equipment. Although it was planned, I should have spent more time building up, and like I should have taken the HP latex and said, okay, I'm going to sell stickers and banners and this, that, and the other. And build it up enough that I could hire someone. That's all they did all day, every day was run the printer. Then I should have got the Konica. Then I should have built it up that direction rather than the direction I'm going. Although, if money didn't matter, and I was starting my shop right now, I'd buy the flatbed. I would buy the flatbed, and I would buy a bigger flatbed cutter. Those are the two things that I would do. And then once I built that up, then I would get a roll printer. But there's also a ton of money in screen printing and a ton of money in embroidery. Like, I have so many orders for embroidery, I just can't keep up with it. Like, I had someone from the channel reach out to ask if I could do an order for them for embroidery, and I just don't have time. Like, I've got 400 beanies that I need to embroider, and my wife wants to kill me because none of my contract people will do work either because they're too busy. Micro Puzzles, thank you for the donation. Super kind of you. Super kind. Yeah, Mike, I agree. That's probably my problem is I've tried to become the one-stop shop, like literally. That I will do everything and anything they want. But I think the right approach for me would have been bring a couple of things in-house and then continue to outsource everything. That would have been a better approach for me. No ID says he likes that all the YouTube printers have different vibes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I would say, besides just a printer, I think I'm the only one that does like actual printing. Like most of the people that I know of are more like they do screen printing and then they've added embroidery or they've added um, like roll printing, like stickers and stuff, not or they yeah, like I guess like I don't follow a lot of I'll just tell you what I follow. I will tell you the channels that I have in my subscription list. And you can tell me if I'm missing any or whatnot. So I follow A-Dub Productions, which watching his like he got a Ricoh RI 1000 for like stupid cheap. Well, that was really fun, cool. So he does like lots of different things. Um, I follow AA Print Supply. I follow Angela Jasmina. She does Etsy shopping, um, embroidery. I follow Big Brando. He does a lot of heat press stuff. I follow, let's see here. Follow the Print House. I follow, who else? Heart and Hustle. So Heart and Hustle does screen printing, embroidery, and now does DTG. I follow Hustle Ninjas. His business was built around screen printed transfers, I believe, or transfers of some kind. J&E Eclectics, which is originally DTG, and then they went embroidery now. And I think they also just bought a laser. I follow John Santos, but I don't watch a lot of his videos just because I don't relate to him very well. I follow JP Custom Ink, but George doesn't upload very many videos. Come on, George. Just a Printer, Keyprint Co., Lee Stewart, Levite Apparel. Lee Stewart does screen printing. He added embroidery, and I'm pretty sure he's about to announce that he is going to do DTG. I think that's what he's adding. I think that's one of the big secrets. I watch Andy from Mancraft Graphics. He does, like, he's got an HP latex like me. He's got the big brother of mine. Got an Epson roll printer. He just got a storefront, so I hope he makes some videos. I watch Mikey Designs. He has screen printing, but he also has added embroidery. Let's see. I watch Print Shop Talk. Derek, formerly Avalue Designs. Are there any other shirts? Signworks Monterey. SE Shirts and Hoodies. He started DTG, then he went screen print. T-shirt Side Hustle. Stan does lots of stuff. Print Shop Gal, The Sign Guy, T-shirt Buddy, T-shirt Chick. So yeah, lots of different people. Is there anyone that I'm missing? So Nova Works is saying that they did blankets today and more Nike hoodies. Nike seems to have okay stock, but some of it seems to be missing. Bob is saying that the DTF printer is 133 long. I actually have looked at getting a DTF because my thought was, well, what if I get it and just sell it to you guys? Not that I'm like necessarily trying to like profit, but I would be trying to profit. But I thought it would be helpful for everyone because the one that I've looked at looks really cool and seems awesome. But I don't know. It's just one more piece of equipment. And there's lots of room now. I can put it right there. So George is saying that he talks a lot, but when I watch you, I just listen. Matt, thanks for the donation. I really appreciate it. He says he's purchased numerous items based off of my suggestions. Your cost calculators daily. Use your cost calculators daily. Dude, those things are awesome. I love them. I've modified a couple of them that I'm still working on refining them, so I'll update those soon. But I'll keep you posted. Mike, if you start a channel, let me know. I'll watch it. Nova Work says, check out Tanto Inc. I can agree that a lot of people have good videos, but if they're like me and run a print shop, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Time, especially right now, is very limited, and it's tough. It's tough because I'm working so much. Like right now, not including my emails, I have 34 active jobs that I'm working on, and each job has multiple. Well, most of them have multiple elements to the job, and so it makes it hard to it makes it hard to be able to get this content. Bob, thank you for the donation. I only watch your videos because I can't handle most of the in-your-face, high-energy stuff. Your casual, laid-back demeanor is my speed. I'm glad. It's my speed too. I like it. This is what I prefer. My videos are definitely not fancy and friendly and have smooth and buttery transitions or whatever, but it's definitely my style. That's why I make them this way. But no, I appreciate you, Bob. I'm glad I could help you. Bob, Bob has crushed it this year. Way to go, Bob. But yeah, any other questions? We just passed the hour mark. I should probably get back to work. I'm playing with a name badge. I ordered an extra one so I could have it as a sample. I need to find a new name badge company. Frankly, I should probably just make the name badges myself. But the company I use right now is taking way too long. Plus, they're based out of Florida, and so it takes a week to ship here, and they're taking like a week and a half to make them or more, a week and a half, 2 weeks. So, like this one, it's white with a digital print. Um, Another one I do a lot of is like a etched silver that I could do on my laser. I just need to find a good, if I could find a good substrate. But Mike says he's out of here. Keep up the great work. Okay, let me know when you make your videos. I'll watch. If you need to do your shop door with me in it, I'll Zoom call you or FaceTime you or whatever, and we can put it on my channel. I want to start doing shop tours. I wish I had the money that I could come see other people's shops. So Nova Works, I've looked at both JDS and Johnson's Plastic, but I can't seem to either decipher or understand which material it is that I would really need. Because it looks like it's plastic, but it looks like metal, and it engraves black. But yeah, I need to just like call them and find out. So Jim says, who was working with you when you were at home? So I used to have a Bob that worked for me, but Bob doesn't work for me anymore. Yeah, Bob did sales, but my personal opinion is that Bob thought the sales would come faster, and he didn't work enough to get enough sales fast enough that it could give him the revenue that he wanted, and so he found a job. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm not sure exactly everything about it. We're still friends. He was still selling for me until I asked him not to do any more sales. As of like a month ago, I asked him to stop selling. Nova Works says, look at Rowmark products. Thank you. I will take a look. JP Plus. Rowmark. Ooh. The other thing, I was looking for the stuff when I was on my phone, and that's not good. Like, trying to find stuff on your phone on these types of websites is the worst. Ooh, I think this is it. Rowmark, No Mark Plus. The brushed aluminum and black. Might be brushed silver. Let's go look at my supplier, my current supplier. If I can not have to use them anymore, that would make my life better. Although it sucks because I pay them $6 a name badge, and that includes shipping. So that's what's really hard, is like doing them myself. Like I retail them for $11, and there's just not a lot of money. Brushed silver. They have a brushed silver too, so that's what it is. A brushed silver. I'm not sure what thickness I get. But yeah, for these ones, like I pay like $6 for them from my supplier. I retail them for 11, but they include shipping. Let's see here. NovaWorks, I'm selling these $160 for 6 each engraved. My cost for material is $1.38, including laser time. I really need to get my laser like up and running. Usually, like the customer that orders the brushed silver stuff, they probably order 5 or 10 name badges a month. So, like, it definitely would be worth it because right now the biggest problem is the shipping. But I wonder, let's see if it tells me, because I have 3 orders with them right now. So I paid $5.55 for the badge, and then I paid 99 cents to have a magnet instead of the pin. So it cost me $6.54, but it is shipped for free. It only tells me that it is a 1.5 by 3 badge. It does not tell me the thickness. What thickness do you guys use? Do you use the 1/32 or the 1/16 or the 1/8? I could probably measure this one and just find out. This one is 1/16. Oh man, lots of comments. Bob says the Romark laser gloss is nice for outdoor signs. Whoa, the $1.38 includes a magnet too? Okay, that makes me feel better, especially if I can batch them up. I like that. I need to figure out like how they ship them so cheap though. And that works, and you can flatbed print them when you do full color printing. Apply vinyl to custom cut badges and make them on the laser. When we do full color, we print and apply. Yeah. So I could, like, that's what this one is it's a printed one. And I thought about doing these because I paid way too much money for them, but I just didn't have time or was able to find the right material. But thank you for the suggestion. I'm going to buy some. And it is 1/16, like Novaworks said. Leonardo asked why engrave when you can flatbed. Because that's what the customer wants. So I gave them the options of doing a printed one or an engraved one, and they wanted engraved, so that's what we did. JP George says, I think people are still scared to outsource work, and I do like doing everything myself, but it's been working for me, but not easy to just let go and outsource things. I started with outsourcing, so that's always been easy for me. Like, I guess if we take a look here at my 34 jobs, let's see, the banner I printed myself, at least this one. The labels I outsourced. The shirts and hats. Shirts I outsourced. Hats I'm doing in-house. Wind flags I outsourced. Banner and stickers I did in-house. Stickers I did in-house. Not gift cards, greeting cards. 2 sets of those did in-house. Shirts I outsourced. Hat I'm doing in-house. Embroidery I'm doing in-house. A blender bottle I'm outsourcing. Frosted vinyl I'm doing in-house. Hats and beanies, unfortunately, I'm doing in-house. Hats I'm doing in-house. Labels, these ones I'm doing in-house. Custom tape I'm outsourcing. A banner I'm outsourcing. 2 banners I outsourced. Christmas cards I'm doing myself. Christmas cards I'm doing myself. Some franchise kits, which they're a mixed bag. Some I'm doing myself, some I'm outsourcing. Custom boxes doing myself. Posters doing myself. Tumblers I'm outsourcing. Vests I'm outsourcing. Backpacks and hats I'm doing myself. So right now it seems like almost everything I'm doing is in-house, which I think is part of what's causing my stress because there's so much to do. I need some more jobs that I can outsource. But part of the problem with outsourcing right now is even my screen printer, my normal one, they said that if you want something by Christmas, you have to have it in by the 3rd of December, and that they're taking the week off between Christmas and New Year's, and that will not count towards the turn time of any of your orders. So that's stressful for me. I am going to give them a job, the one I just got tonight, because they do free screens on any reorders over 48 pieces. So it'll save me money to use them. Plus, that one's not due till January 7th. So I'm going to use them for it to make my life easier. Bob, you must have a lot better luck than me because everyone I'm using right now is telling me turn times. Like I tried to order some lanyards from a local company here. Snugs is a Utah-based company, They do have a couple of other warehouses, but their normal turnaround time for those lanyards is 24 hours, and they're at 21 days minimum. So you are having way better luck than me. Yeah, I get mad. I try to ship all my stuff to me directly because I have the same problem. I don't like that they have branded boxes and they put flyers in them. Sorry, I'm playing with this. I'll put it down. uh, No Work is saying that they print banners for some other local wholesale customers, and you put the print information on the back of the banners. That's nice of you to put their information on the back of the banners. Yeah, I will print banners in house if it's something they need super quick, but if it's something that they can wait for, then I outsource it. I can't justify it with how cheap it is to buy banners, um, printed and shipped and ready to go. That I just, although with shipping costs going up, that sucks. But yeah, like I said, Bob, hit or miss. You seem to be doing better than me though. But most of my jobs are outsourced right now. I do need to get that laser up though. So if any of you guys want to come set that up for me, feel free. Got a customer emailing me. They're going to be at my shop at 10 to pick up their order. So, well, any other questions before I jump back into work? No, Bob, you got to come here. You got to come from Ohio to Utah. I will admit that I probably should not have purchased the laser. I should just have continued to outsource, but I don't know. It's just hard because like I pay $9 to have this engraved. If I could teach my employee how to do it, I'd pay them $10 an hour. So if they could do two an hour, I would make money. If they could do probably what I assume, probably 10, 15, 20 an hour, depending on the design. Like that's what I need. I'm gonna take it. No sit there. But we'll see. Noble Works, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. No ID asks, are all of your orders local? I think it makes more sense when you invest in a brick and mortar. So let me see here. We'll go through my 34 again. Local, 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 California, local, Florida, local, Arizona, Idaho, Texas, local, 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 local. I don't know where these guys are. Nevada, I think. I don't know. They haven't given me shipping information yet. Local, 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 local. Mostly local. Oh, no more clicking. So I have a good mix. Jim, have a good night. You're right, Bob. Once my laser is set up, it will be a money machine. I just need to set it up. $65 an hour for laser work. That's not bad. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to charge. But I don't know. I have a hard time because, like, for me, charging per hour for laser is hard because you don't necessarily know how long something's going to take, and I don't want to necessarily have to put it in my system to determine it. I would rather kind of figure out an average and just bill based off of that. So I'm still, the problem is I've never run one or had one, and my agreed upon price for the $9 for the tumblers was based off of what um, what I could buy, like a laser tumbler from Sage via the Promotional Products Network. So that's my hard part. Bob got a bunch of tumblers on clearance. That's good. $4. That's 50% off. I usually buy 24 at a time because I tend to like either screw up or they screw up or I have someone else who's like, oh crap, I need some rush ones, and so I like to buy more than I have so that way I can get it. I can just have it. I should clarify, George, my local customers I define as in-state and that they either pick it up. I still ship to some of the people even if they're local in-state, but yeah, most of my work are small local businesses, usually within 30 minutes of me. So Bob's saying that most of his stuff is within 20 minutes. But yeah, like even if I look at just the business park that I'm in, like I do business for the people next door. I do business for the ones across the street. I do ones for one kitty corner, and then I do one for the top of the street. And I did all of those except for the one across the street before I even moved here. Um, I do the local grocery store. I do the local diner. Um, so yeah, lots of no ID. Most of the stuff that's not local, I don't produce myself. Although some of it I do. Most of my like most of my shipped stuff is outsourced, or it's something where I'm combining a bunch of stuff and then I'll ship it all at once. Like I have a couple of boxes here that are presentation folders, mints, some stickers, some envelopes, things like that, that I'm combining a bunch of different things. It's a franchise that I do work for, and so I'm putting their franchise kit together to send them all our marketing materials. I need to print some t-shirts for my business, but I bought them. I have them. I have like 100 and something shirts. I bought Next Level. I think I bought 62 tens, and I have a bunch of different colors that I was going to screen print. Just haven't gotten around to it. But I am the only like print shop. There is a UPS store in town, but other than the UPS store, I'm the only screen printer in town. I'm the only embroidery shop in town. Other than UPS, I'm the only printer in town. There are a few other promotional products people, but I am the only promotional products person with a storefront. I'm the only large format printer in town. Um, oh, there is a really, really big company in town that does large format, but they don't do the same type of large format. They do trade shows only. And I was talking to them, and they said their smallest order is $50,000, but most of their orders are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we're not on the same scale. So Bob is saying that his top customer is at the end of his street, and George is saying that most of his business is Texas, California, and New York. So if I go look at my top customers, my top customer is across the freeway. They own the building that I'm in, and it's my brother. My brother is my number one customer. My number two customer is in California. My number three customer is about an hour away. My number four customer lives in my neighborhood. I don't know where his business is, but he lives in my neighborhood. That's where I deliver all his stuff on my way home from work. My fifth customer is my generic category, my walk-in category. So that's people that typically only buy once or twice and are not repeat orders, or they're not a business. I call it my walk-in category. And then number six is the grocery store. Number seven is a print shop that specializes only in promotional products. So I do all of their printing. And then the high school. Those are my top customers. So only one is out of state. Number one is technically 0 minutes away, but also technically 5 minutes away. Number two, California. Number three, an hour away. 4, 10 minutes away. 6, 5 minutes away. 7 is 15 minutes away. So all pretty close. I like your Goldman ID. Biggest printer. I definitely do not have the biggest printer. The biggest printer in town is a 16-foot dice up, and it is massive, and it's one of like 3 in the country, and holy cow, it's huge. That was one thing that actually opened my eyes, because they have 3 printers. They have 2 Dursts flatbed printers. I think they call them hybrid printers. They're not like the rollover type that I have. They're one that feeds the material through. So they have 2 of those, and then they have the 16-foot die-set printer, and then they have 4 Zune cutters. And the Zune cutters they have are like the massive ones. They're like 12 feet by 14 feet. Like, they're huge, and they have 4 of them. So they have 2 that they use for they'll use them for like the fabrics and stickers and adhesive type products, and then they have 2 that they use for acrylic and like ACM. They call them the dirty machines. So they're the ones that have the chips and dust and whatnot. So they have 2 that they use for clean stuff and 2 that they use for dirty stuff. Bob is saying all his business is word of mouth. The bakeries all talk to each other about labels, drinkware. The barber at the end of the street orders 100 shirts a week and hands out. Get referrals from him. I made shirts for the elementary school. Branching out from that. All my business is word of mouth. Word of mouth. I don't do any advertising. 0. Goose egg. Don't even advertise my. I did print a sign for my front door finally. Although I should put it on the other door because everyone knocks on that door, even though it was just to like cover an eyesore versus the actual front door. George says he spends about $500 a month on ads, and it's worth it. I know I need the local support for 2020, and that's the goal. My goal is to get more online stuff. I need more stuff that I can just produce and ship and make it easier. I want to be able to get my employees working more. I want them to run the machines more. That's my goal. Ahmed says he would give his left testicle for that amount of space. My shop is small, looking for a bigger space. I can relate to that. I feel like I had to give mine up to be here. My original shop was about 500 square feet, and I was there for full time for about a year and a half, part time for a long time. But I've only been in the shop since, I don't even know, you can look back at the channel, I think 6 months. But I also lucked out because my brother owns the building. So it's helpful when you have, it's a good and bad thing that it's family. So Nashville is crazy expensive everywhere. Ideally, I hope to someday be able to buy the building. My brother is open to that, but right now I definitely don't have the ability to do that. Bob is saying he hasn't had an order from his website in months. I got my first order on my website 2 days ago, and before that, I haven't had one for a few months. But I only have like 2 items listed on my website because most of my business is just done by talking to people. But right now, I have Christmas cards listed on my website because that's a really easily productizable thing. So that's what I got. Ahmed is saying that he started the print shop at the same time as me and got the same equipment because I would buy everything you would. Well, I'm glad. George bought his printer too, except he went up to me about 2 printers. My brother owns all the things. That's what big brothers are for. They own all the things. So Micropuzzles is saying all our business is online. There are pros and cons, I think, to both. Pros and cons to both. Ahmed is asking if I'm upgrading HP Latex to the 800 or no. At this point, I don't have plans to upgrade the roll printer. If I were to upgrade, I might change technology. I might get something different. Still haven't decided. There's some other printers that I'm looking at right now. I've got some big customers that want stuff, and I might do it. I qualify for it. I can technically afford it. If I were to, this piece of equipment that I'm contemplating, if I were to do it, I would have to create a website for it. It would have to be its own kind of brand, and I would have to not only sell retail to my customers, but create a wholesale division because it's a $100,000+ printer that does one thing, and I wouldn't be able to support it solely with my customers. So I would need to create the ability to have other people use it. So I really want to because I just am an equipment junkie, but that's awesome, George. 13,000 of potential. Definitely have to figure out how to get those retargeted and turned into um, to actual sales. I'll just copy your website. No, I've got too much crap going on. I don't think I could handle more orders until I get like more employees or more full-time employees. But even then, like my nephew feels bad. Like he ended up going home an hour early, um, and because he's like, I have nothing else to do, and he's like, I cleaned the bathroom and I swept the floors. He cleaned out the back of my truck. I gotta get, like, the problem was I had him come in because I thought I was gonna be printing those boxes, but they just didn't have the artwork. So for sure over the next like 3-4 weeks, that's all they'll be doing is printing boxes. So Ahmed is saying, I made a whole video on what sites I use for promo items. What is your favorite one to use now? I don't really have a specific favorite one, just because it's all based off of what I'm buying. I do have like large format ones that I always use because they're all similar products. I don't give those away for free. If you join Patreon, you can get an Excel spreadsheet that has all my suppliers on it, or you can purchase my large format selling course, and I give you the tips and tricks of how to get started on doing that. And I give away my favorite suppliers. Bob watched the course. Bob, what did you think of the course? Ernesto, how do you like the flatbed printer? You should go back and watch my video from like yesterday or something. I talked about my different categories. I love the flatbed. I think flatbed printing will be my #1 revenue source next year. It's only been operational for a month or two, and I've sold $15,000 so far, and pretty sure that will be my top seller next year, because promotional products is my #1 this year, and I think I've so far closed out jobs about $86,000, $87,000 worth. So I think next year that the large format will take it over. Definitely need to get the laser on my list. Ahmed, I got an OM Tech laser. If you go back a few videos on the channel, I specifically mention and have links to which one I got. I don't remember. I think it's a 55 watt, and the bed I think is like 14 or 16 by 20, but just go back a few videos and you can see it. The flatbed is a lease to own. So it's a 5-year loan. It's a 5-year lease with a $1 buyout. Bob says, regarding my course, the suppliers Darren provides have saved me so much money when outsourcing. Banners alone were half the price of what I was paying and getting them way faster. I know. I can't believe I found them in the first place. Like, that supplier, that's why it's not worth printing banners. Like, they're so cheap. Like, even if I go, like, let's see here. Let's go look up my banner material. So if I log in and I go find out how much, go away. Product history. So I pay 21 cents a square foot for banner. If I just assume that I paid 25 cents a square foot for printing, which it's really not, it's less. But if I assume that, then I'm paying 50 cents a square foot. But I have to do all the work. My supplier is only a little bit more, and they do all the work for you. So that's why I use them. I will do my own if I have to rush them, but it's just not worth it. I would say if I had a printer that always had banner media on there, I might feel a little different. But at the same time, like, you look at this, I'm paying 21 cents a square foot. Not all my banners fit in the media perfectly, and so you're wasting feet of material anyway. So it probably ends up costing me about the same as it would to just outsource it. But I probably would feel a little bit different if the banner material was always loaded in the printer. like my sticker media is what I keep in the printer, and I only swap that out if I have to print something else. So if I need to print a banner, I swap out. If I need to print a poster, I swap it out. But I don't swap, like, so say, like right now I have adhesive in there. If I needed to print a banner right now, I would put the banner material in. I would print what I would need. I would unload it from the printer, and I would leave it there. I wouldn't take it off the spool, but I wouldn't leave it loaded. And I would only switch the media out if I got another order. So if I got a different order, then I would then take it off and put it back on. If I got another banner order, feed it up, print it. But again, it's so cheap to outsource it, especially if I have to ship it. Then I have to find a box, and I have to tape it, and I have to put on the... No, outsource. I am literally printing a banner for my neighbor. Like, I could hit his house with a rock from my house. He ordered 2 banners. They're being made in California and shipped to me because I didn't want to do it, and it wasn't worth it. Not worth it at all. So Ahmed asks how much I would charge for a banner. If you go to my website, you can buy my pricing calculators. It'll tell you what I charge for everything, but I will tell you what I would charge anyway. So if I was doing one banner that was 66 inches by 114 inches, then I personally would charge them $185.63, which rounds out to $3.21 per square foot. If I printed that myself, it would cost around $60. That does not include labor, just material. Well, it also includes setup. So it does include a little bit of things, but it would cost me about $60. I would charge $185. But if you want your own pricing calculator, you can buy one calculator, I think, for $3, or you can buy all of the calculators for $10. George says he has one printer for banners that I love, and the other printer is for stickers. That's the way to do it. And if I were to, so like if I buy another printer, my HP would turn into banners only. Like that's just what I would do. I'd leave banner media in it, and that's what I would print. Now, in an ideal world, I would have one printer that has like 3-foot media, one printer that has 54-inch media. So 38-inch media, 54-inch media. I'd have 2 printers for banner, but that's not how my world works. Let's see here. Matt asks, what is my preferred sticker media? Matt, I know you just got your printer, but sticker media is really hard to buy right now. And they're out of stock everywhere. There currently is stock of my favorite kind. So I will tell you. It's the HP Prime Gloss Air GP. But don't buy it all, because that will make me mad, because when I need it, I don't want to have to not have it. But that's what I buy. I've used Brightline. Wasn't bad. You can definitely get cheaper vinyl. Like you can get the HP Prime Gloss CP, and that's cheaper. Brightline has cheaper ones, especially their economy stuff. I just like the Air. I use like it for everything. Stickers, decals, whatever. My buddy wanted 3-foot by 4-foot posters, and I was like, I don't have that big a poster material. Can I just print out our adhesive and just don't take the back off? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. So I printed it on adhesive, and then he's like, guess what? I took the back off and just stuck it to the wall. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, it stuck to brick just fine. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I use it for everything. I currently have 3 rolls. I like to keep 2, always. Like, I like 1 on the printer and 2 there. But they ran out, so I bought 5 because I freaked out because I had a bunch of orders, and I have a bunch of orders. But let's see here. Who's the banner vendor you speak of? Matt, I don't give it publicly. You can ask me privately, and I usually will tell people. Or you can support me by buying my large format course, and you can have all my knowledge. It's like directly from my balding head right to you. Ahmed says, how can I tell people a nice way that I can't compete with all my prices? And my prices are going to be here because we are retail. So I usually don't pitch it that way. I usually tell them, you have to remember what you're getting when you're using someone like me, that I make sure the artwork is right, or I'm making the artwork for you. And online places, they don't really care. And if they screw up, they're not necessarily going to do anything about it. The most recent story I have about that is I was working for someone that wanted yard signs. And they came to me and were like, well, you're more expensive. And I said, okay. I said, my price is my price. It's what I can stand behind, and that's the quality that I want to be able to provide. And I said, like, I don't charge you for the design, so my design is included. And I'm here locally, and you know where I am. And, like, if you need to buy them at that price, then, like, I respect that decision because I am a person, and I sometimes have to buy things that are more affordable. And, like, that's fine with me. Like, no hard feelings. And about a week later, he came back and was like, I would rather use you. You're nicer and easier to deal with. And even if I had to pay a little bit more, I would rather do that. So like, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's kind of the same feeling and thought I have about every product when people are like, oh, you can't make money doing that. You can. But some people will say no, and other people will say yes. So that's my personal opinion. Charles says, I buy banner for $1 a square foot wholesale, and if I need to beat them up a bit for specific giant projects, I can. It's not worthwhile to do in-house, and 99% is oversized for my machines anyway. Yep, I pay less than that, but I know people that do it for even less than what I pay. And I agree, you can usually beat them up if it's a big price or a big project. I would say most of my banners are 4-foot max. Sometimes I'll get like 12-foot wide. Right now I'm working on one that's 12 by 15. The longest one I've done in-house was 4-foot by 24-foot. That was horrible, but they needed it in like a day. But I agree. Outsourcing makes a lot of sense to me. Bob was saying that you can outsource that 5.5 by 9.5 foot banner for about $50 plus shipping, which is great, especially if you're going to ship it anyway, because if you're going to ship it anyway, then might as well just pay them to do it too. Let's see, banners, 18 millimeters. I don't know what millimeters is, but it's 13 ounce. That's the most common banner that I do. It's a 13 ounce scrim banner. Bob is pimping my large format course. Ahmed is saying he charged $450 for 2, so I did good. I think he did. I try, if I'm doing it in-house, I try to hit $4 a square foot. If I'm outsourcing it, then I'll use my calculator as long as I'm making more than what I would do by my double it rule. On sticker, George is asking 3 mil or 6 mil. My go-to is, I have no idea. Vinyl, adhesive, eco-solvent. Mm. Technical specs. Mine is a 3.4 mil. So neither. Or sort of. Micropuzzles, correct. The value versus price argument on price. Oh, more customers are emailing me. I got paid. Oh, only $50. Pay the other one. That was hundreds of dollars. All right, let's see here. Bob says, I had someone mention they could get it from somewhere on Etsy for cheaper, so I showed them that Etsy small business was just linked to an outsourced site. Then they ordered through me, and I used the same place to order. That's awesome. Well, and at the same time, some people want to use local, and some people are only there for the price. Like, I had one of my buddies that I'm friends with, like, he ordered from Vistaprint. I was like, what the crap are you doing? He's like, well, it was easy. I got online and could design it and just be done with it. Like, whatever. That's what you want to do. And like, you just have to remember you can't win every customer. Not every customer wants you, and not every customer will be with you. And some customers, like my favorite customer, don't even ask me how much stuff costs. They're just like, this is what I want. They know I'm going to be good to them, so they know they're going to be treated fair, but they also don't nickel and dime me. Like, I even had one of my customers that I normally um, do the artwork for free. He's like, make sure you charge me this time. Like, fine, I'm not going to argue with you. So, I'll take it. I will take it. Ahmed, thank you for the donation. That's super kind of you. Send me the list you're talking about. Send me an email, because I'm sure I don't have it. ttmakesomething@gmail.com, and I will send you the list. Bob, if you're ordering transfers from one of these big companies and have a left chest and backside, if you're creative, you can set up the artwork to appear as one design and you save a ton of money. Yes, you can. Yes. Those companies that do not accept gang sheets, you sure can get away with it. You know what else you can get away with? Making a lot of left chests on the same print. All you have to do is put sponsored by. There's a lot of ways that you can manipulate their sometimes weird requirements. George says Darren will say, last one, and 2 hours later. Yeah. I just enjoy this. I appreciate this. Like, I got a new supplier. Well, not a new supplier. I knew of them. I just found the right product. Just like hopefully Matt got the right product. You know, don't buy all my stuff. Don't buy all my media, Matt. I might have to buy a couple more rolls. The one thing that I don't like about Johnson's Plastic is they tell the price. But like one thing that I don't like about JDS is that their name is all over the box. Like, I hate that. Because then I don't want to give my customer that box. And I like to reuse boxes. Okay, speaking of which, you guys that buy from Johnson's Plastic, what is the No Mark Plus coating? It's asking me if I want it or I don't want it. What does that mean? What is the No Mark Plus? Choose the optional No Mark Plus coating for superior durability and protection. Okay, so have you guys used it? Do you like it? Does it matter? Does it not matter? Do you guys have a preferred size? Let me know. Okay. Any more questions? It's 11. It's 10:30. I should go to bed. I can't remember if I have a Johnson's plastic account. I don't think I do. Everything is like an hour from you, Bob. My favorite, one of the cheapest suppliers, but they happen to be in Canada, is super close to you, so shipping is way cheaper for you. I guess it's true. I do need to move to Ohio. That'd be really hard for me. Thanks for the purchase, Matt. Oh, I got 2 orders. 1 order. Thanks for buying my sales goal calculator. Matt also changed his password. I don't know why I got an email telling me that. Let me put this. For those of you that don't know me very well or don't watch the lives, I'm willing to give you all the information. You don't necessarily have to buy it from me. If you feel like you can't afford it, just send me an email. I will send it to you. Do I appreciate you supporting me because I do put time and effort into it? Yes, I do. But if you're in a position that you can't afford it, I'll just tell you. So just reach out. Of course, Sandmar is 2 hours from you. Of course, Johnson's Plastic is an hour from you. Of course, I'm sure everyone else is by too. I got nothing. No one. The only people I did have was Snugs, but they're 21 days out. Although, someone said hats are really hard to get right now. I have a confession to make. I have like $10,000 worth of hats right now. I'm hoarding Richardson 112s. Like bad. You guys want to see my stash? I don't think that's what most people mean when they say that. I need a couple of thumbs up because this video only has 3. If you give me some thumbs up, then I'll show you my stash. Nope, we got 3 likes. 3 more likes. Okay, let's go show you my stash. It's right here, my mustache. All right, you guys ready? I don't know if you guys can handle this. Got it. Here's my stash. And there's more around the corner. And there's more in those cabinets. There's my JDS boxes that I couldn't give to my customer. So yeah, all full of Richardson 112s. I also dropped my Saber. My key set today. It was leaning up against the wall, and I actually bumped it with the forklift, and it fell over. I don't know if it's broken. I'm afraid to touch it. all the boxes you're storing are really hiding Richardson hats. No, these boxes are all empty. They just have, this is like my stash corner, my other stash corner. It's where cardboard boxes come to live so that I can ship stuff. So like I'll use JDS if I'm doing like wholesale stuff. And then I use all the other, like this one has crap in it and that has the bathroom fan, but the bathroom ceiling hasn't been painted yet, so it's not installed. But yeah, every time I find Richardson's in stock, I buy them. I don't even care. Like, I'll show you. I don't even care what color they are. So, like, these, I have black charcoal, I have Loden, um, solid black, black and orange, navy and black, like, what's up here? Black charcoal, orange and charcoal. Like, this is my laser. You can see it's got lots of use. So, I don't care what color they are. They come in stock, I buy them. I got white, I got maroon, I got some solid orange, except I sold those. Hunting season. I didn't think they'd be popular. Bought them anyway. So that's why people can't get hats, because there's people like me that just buy all of them. There's no pallets here, Bob. I keep those hidden next door. Keep all the good stuff hidden. Yeah. Well, any other questions before we go from, hey, it's been an hour, I should get off, to, oh, it's been 2 hours now? The stuff over your shoulder is just fake front for your hidden stashes. Yeah, it's not really like $100,000 worth of lumber. It's hats. Ahmed, I got your email. I will answer it later. No, I played Jenga with the stack the other day, though. They came and they're like, what the crap did you do? So, um, let's see if I can. That is a table on a pallet of wood, and it is about 20 feet up in the air. And it was a little sketchy getting the forklift up there because it's not like a super high masted forklift. So, but it wasn't stacked high enough, and I wanted more of my floor space back, so stacked it higher. Went up. They didn't seem too mad today, but they definitely weren't necessarily happy about it. So yeah, it was a really good green screen. Really good. The whole print shot. Like, I don't even print stuff. Like, all this is fake. Dude, it seems so small. So small. Okay. Well, thanks for attending my TED Talk. I will answer one last question before I call it quits. So ask now. "19 people, no one has a question?" a little shameless plug for myself, besides like the large format thing. If you do want to support the channel, there are Amazon affiliate links. Anything you buy from Amazon, I get a commission for. It's anywhere from like 0.1% up to 3%. So if you did want to support me over this holiday season and you're buying stuff on Amazon, that would be a great way to do so. You can also, like if you're buying equipment, then you can buy from Heat Press Nation or Heat Transfer Warehouse. If you're going to buy a laser, I've got affiliate links for that. But all of that is greatly appreciated, but it's also not necessary. But I do appreciate it. Bob asks, can we get another hour? No. I'll need to do some work. I need to go home. I'm surprised my wife. No, my wife hasn't texted me. I'm surprised that she has not. Have you ever thought of acrylic? I have, and I have some. I bought some to test, but I just haven't done it yet. My sister-in-law would like me to print some calendars on a. She wants me to reverse print it so that the front surface is just sprayable and wipeable. But I haven't done it yet. I do have a sheet of acrylic, and she wants to sell those on Etsy, but I've just been too busy to play with it. The thing that I don't like about acrylic is I would have to cut it with the router attachment, which is up high right there that you can see, and it makes a mess. So that's where like a bigger laser would have been better, because then you could do with Lightburn, they have the ability to mark where like you print registration dots. But yeah, we'll see. I may end up doing like Christmas ornaments or printed things or stuff like that when I get the laser up and running, like Bob's saying. We'll see. Who knows? AZ New York is asking if the RF 640 is better than the HP. I've never owned a Roland. I know a lot of people that have Rolands and like them. If you are just starting printing, then I would recommend the HP, just because it's very low maintenance and you can let it sit for days, weeks. I let mine sit for over a month at one point. So if you're just starting, I definitely like the HP. If you need something with maybe a smaller dot size for better clarity on some stuff, then an eco-solvent usually gives that. So yeah, there's my 2 cents. Like I was saying earlier, if I do get another roll printer, it probably will not be another latex, but it will have similar features. I do, so Bob, when people use the Heat Transfer Warehouse affiliate link, I do get an email telling me that someone used it, and I also am told what they buy, but I don't know who it is. And they didn't always do this, and like people like me pushed for it, just because it helps me know like maybe what questions I can answer. So I could tell you the last affiliate sale I got from Heat Transfer Warehouse was 12 days ago. And someone bought some Caesar Easy Weed, some Caesar Easy Subla ink, and some Caesar Holographic. And that was 12 days ago. So if you bought something on Monday, no, I did not get credit for it. which is okay. But thanks for trying. I tried to make my heat transfer warehouse and my heat press nation really simple. It's timetomakesomething.com/HTW or HPN so that you can just type it in and click and use it if you want to. It's all right. It happens. But thanks for trying. I don't even know what a sleeve pillow is. I sleep on my arm though. Blender Q is asking what is an alternative to the Roland BN20. Are you wondering like alternative as in what sense? Like same price range, same technology? As far as the same price range, I think your options are used or China products, which I personally would not recommend unless you're very familiar with printing and feel comfortable like fixing it yourself or maintaining it yourself. But price-wise, a printer that does what the BN20 does, it's really the only one in its class. That's too bad. That would have been a nice commission. Oh well. But yeah, the BN20 is the only, like, I don't know what the price is now, but it's usually in the $5,000 range. You can buy like a 54-inch, you can buy the HP 115 with a cutter, I believe, for about 10,000. If you buy it without the cutter, I think you can get it for 7. But you need a cutter, so you want to get it with the cutter. Yeah, really. The BN20 is slow. My printer could spank its butt. Lots of printers could. But the thing to think about is like how much are you going to be printing? Does it need to be faster? Does it matter? The one thing with the BN20 is you do have to give it time to outgas. Like for some of the stuff I do, the BN20 will be fine. It'll be great. Like speeds, whatever. But if you like, you could start out with a smaller one and use it for stuff. And if you start to saturate it and you don't have more time and you're printing 24 hours a day, then upgrade at that point. Or if you want to just spend a little bit more money now, then know that you might have to float that payment or that process a little bit longer before it starts to pay for itself. I personally am always a fan of buying a little bit more because then you can grow into it better. But that's just me. My first printer was the 315. And like right now, I'm doing pretty well at saturating it. I'm using it every day at this point. The longest I think I ever let the printer sit Like, I'm on my 3rd year of ownership with it. The longest it ever sat was for a month. But the nice thing about the HP, turned it on, ran it, worked fine. If you did that with an eco solvent, you'd have all sorts of problems. George, you got a printer that prints directly on Mylar? We need to talk. We need to talk. You and me. I'll message you. Supposedly, my envelope printer, my Oki 911, is supposed to be able to do it. But George, we need to talk. I might have some business. I'm so excited. I have an equipment problem. Yeah. So Blender starting out, I highly recommend the HP latex printers for those that are starting out. Like George can attest to it, JP Custom Ink. I believe both of yours are 115s, right, George? But like, the 115 is cheaper. The 315 is faster. It is cheaper for ink on the 315. And the 315 will also do continuous print, meaning if I send 10 sticker jobs that are all the same profile, as far as like the pass count, so if I'm doing 10 jobs that are 12 pass, then it'll just continuously print. Versus from what I understand with the 115 is even if they're the same profile, it still wants to print a job, dry the job, print the job, dry the job. But like from my shop, my biggest bottleneck right now is actually not the printing, it's the cutting. I like, you can actually see in my roll printer right there, my roll cutter right there, there's a bunch of stickers in the bottom of it. I actually rolled the roll printer up to the flatbed printer just to use the catch basket feature, because it took, this specific job was like 8 hours straight of cutting. But before that one, it was this same order that they just reordered more. My cutter ran for 52 hours straight. So I set up cameras and I was watching it remotely because I had just set it up and just left. So George is confirming that yes, he has two 115s. I guess my follow-up question to that, George, is do you have two cutters or do you just have one cutter and two printers? And then Bob is saying that he started with a Cameo, recently bought a 24-inch cutter. The speed and noise level difference are night and day. Yeah, so my actual first piece of equipment that I ever bought was a 28-inch vinyl cutter. And I learned really fast that I hated doing decals because I hate weeding, but I continued to do it forever. But yeah, my first it was a US cutter, 28-inch. Yeah. Well, my AirPod is about to die, so George, I will message you. Ahmed, I will email you back. Bob, I'm sure I'll talk to you on Instagram. If you guys are not already, make sure you join the Facebook group. It might be listed below. It for sure is in the last video. Make sure you watch the last video. If you're here, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Thank you to everyone that made donations. That was super kind of you. And we'll do one more question if you got it. But if not, I'm going to get back to work now that it's 11 o'clock. So one last question. George is saying that he has two printers and two cutters. I have two cutters too, but I don't really ever use this one. I just like the flatbed so much better. It's just, George is saying that he'll contact me about his Mylar printer. And good night. Okay, well, I don't think anyone else has a question, so we're just going to call it. Thank you for watching. I had tacos for dinner, Bob. My wife brought me taco time. I was supposed to get 2 bean and rice burritos, but one of them ended up being a chicken burrito, which was a pleasant surprise. But when you bite into it thinking you're getting a bean and rice burrito, it was also a little bit alarming to be like, what? So that's what I had for dinner. And some tater tots. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Again, if you want to support the channel, by any means, use the links down below. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. And have a good night or day or evening or wherever it is for you in the world. Have a good one.